Alright guys, it's your boy Newteddyera, and I'm coming at you today with a, how can I say this? It's meta discussion. I was on a live stream a little bit ago with VCTR Fest, but we didn't really get to finish everything, you know, for something happened with the live stream. So we're just going to get right into it and start talking about these meta decks. What I think is going to be the big cards of the format, the big decks of the format to be exact. Now, right now the hype is Inzektor's, Geargias, Mermails. So those three, right? We're gonna hit off first with Inzektor's. Now with the insect howling or the howling insect, whatever it was, the one that recruits a monster. That deck with Inzektor's, I understand why it got first place. Not taking anything away from the person that was piloting it, you know, the person that was running the deck. You know, I give them the benefit of the doubt. You know your stuff. You did good. You took a deck that, you know, you felt comfortable with and you was gonna win with. So with that being said, yeah, the build is kind of crazy. You know, I looked at it. I analyzed it. I'm like, wow, this deck is actually pretty good. And I think, to me, Inzektor's, they're just a surprise factor. Like a lot of YouTubers say, it's the first 2 weeks of the new format, that's the main thing, that it's only a hype. But Inzektor's, I think they're here to stay a little bit. I think they're going to be around in the meta, yeah. Once people start throwing Veilers in their main deck again, instead of siding it, when they start putting stuff like that in the main, people will start understanding why this card is so, Effect Veiler is so prevalent in this meta. Now, Effect Veiler right now, it's so good. It beats out Geargias, it stops Dera's effect. Fire Fist stops the effect. Yamato, Bujins, Prophecy, Harpies, Mermails. There's so many things that Effect Veiler stops. Now, and I didn't say specific cards in the deck. I'm just saying the decks in general, Effect Veiler hurts them the most. Now, once Effect Veilers are in the deck, oh, and Noble Knights also, you know, there's things like that. Now, the meta, from the looks of it, is starting to shape up. Okay, we're not seeing a lot of Noble Knights. They'll be getting more stuff in the next set, if I'm not mistaken. Legacy of the Valiant, and the next set after that. Harpies, I want to talk about Harpies real quick. Harpies are so good, guys. If you don't know how to beat them, if you don't know how to face them, you don't know what they do, learn it. I'll have a video talking about Harpies, and the moves that they do are so good. I'll probably do a Dev Pro thing for you guys with just Harpies. Now, Harpies are really good. Okay, so now Geargia's card Curries. That deck is so explosive when you least expect it. It explodes when you least expect it. It goes off. It can make so many big plays relatively quickly. Now, with that being said, they can make Beret, Burrito, the 7 and the 8, and just go off. And they have an OTK, 2 burritos or beret or whatever equals 8,000. I think it's 26, 26, 28, and that will equal 8,000 exactly. That's what they end up their field with. But the deck is so good. It's evolving by the minute. People are even running machine duplication with, was it MK2s? Yeah, with MK2s, or the other one. The one that's 500, I think it is. MK, the original. They do that, and they just go off, mecha equipped, and do their whole shenanigans. The deck is good. It has plays for days, but the deck loses, of course, System Down, Cyber Dragon. The reason why the deck is doing so good, because a lot of people are not siding for that matchup. When it won the YCS, I think it was, last format, it was because it was a surprise factor. A lot of people wasn't expecting Geargias. And Geargias, they lose, like I said, the System Down, Nova Mina Cross Out, things like that. But the deck is good. Plain and simple. If you want to pick up the deck, pick it up. It's It's a good deck, but remember, you have to learn how to lose with it to understand it. The best way to understand the deck is losing and winning and understanding the plays that the decks do. Okay, now ongoing, we're going to talk about, we talked about Harpies, we talked about Noble Knights a little bit, we talked about Geargias, we talked about Inzectors. Now Mermails. Now everybody know I'm a little biased about this. Mermails, I think, is going to be the #1 deck to beat this format. The reason being, everybody's hyping it up. You know, I've been running the deck forever since the release of Mermails and Atlanteans. I've been running the deck from the beginning of time of Mermails. The deck has a lot of plays. And now it has a lot of versatility. There's so many builds of it. There's the Undyne build. That's the build that I'm testing right now. It's a 45 card deck though. I might be doing a deck profile for that. If you guys want to see it, let me know. But the Mermail Undyne build, it helps you get to certain cards that you may need at that certain time, like Tidal or Aqua Spirit. Not Aqua Spirit, Fishborg Archer, Dragoons if you need a Sea Serpent in the hand. There's so many plays that this deck does with Undyne. Yes, drawing the controller is first turn is kind of iffy, but since it's a 3, is also a tuner, and it also helps you out for Nightmare Shark and Mecha Equipped, which are two very good Exceeds that are ranked 3s right now that are meta-like. They're so good right now. If you guys don't have any Mecha Equips, pick them up. They're relatively cheap right now. They're so good. If you have rank 3s, if you have level 3s in your deck, you should be running at least one Mecha Equip. That card is the nuts. It gives immortal. It makes one of your monsters immortal for 1 turn. And a lot of decks, that's all you need. With Mermails, all I need is 1 monster for next turn to survive. And once that happens, more likely, I'm going for game next turn. So, with that being said, Mermails, like I said, has so many plays, so many different things that you can do. Now, so we talked about Mermails, Fire Fist. Now, Fire Fist, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this deck. Now, the only reason why I'm not in love with Fire Fist, they lose to themselves. They put so much pressure in the back row. Like, once they fill up their back row with fire formations, things like that, they already run a little bit of monsters. Now, once they leave fire formations on board, it's easy pickings, because usually 9 times out of 10, the one back row that they have is probably like a Mirror Force or whatever. But you pop that one face down, and you could just go off, because a lot of times the set cards are little things. Yeah, they have that Tensu or Tenki, not Tenki. The trap card, Tensen. Yeah, Tensen. Yes, it makes their monsters a lot stronger. But a lot of times, you know, you could get over them by popping them, by taking control of them, or Book of Mooning them. There's a lot of things that you could do to hurt the deck. And I'm telling you guys, please side deck Overworked. With Overwork or Malevolent Catastrophe, those are really good. 2 really good cards against Fire Fist. Now, so, like I said, Fire Fist, I have a kind of a love-hate relationship. Fire Kings, the same way, more or less. But Fire Kings, to me, they're a deck to deal with. If you guys don't know how to side against them, I'm telling you, DD Crows, DeFi, Macro, if you can run those in your deck, run them. Fire Fist and Fire Kings are decks. They're out there. They're, you know, really good decks that people might want to use for this format at this moment in the competitive scene. Okay, now Prophecy. The reason why Prophecy is so good, they have World, and the builds that people are doing at World, they put it at 2 now. And what they're doing is nuking the field so many times that there's really nothing you can do. Once they nuke it about 1 time, you get smacked with 29, and they're still most likely gonna go off. A lot of people run 2 World, one Priestess. In my updated build, I run 2 Priestess and 2 Worlds. The reason being is that after the World goes off, Priestess is so good, because you nuke the field and you could just go off. You win. You win more or less. Okay? I touched on Harpies. Harpies are real good this format. Like I said, if you want to pick up a good deck for relatively cheap, yes, the extra deck is kind of expensive with the Big Eye and Draco Sack. But again, remember, Big Eye is getting a reprint at the end of this month. If you guys don't remember, it's going to be in the Battle Pack 2, Volume 2, Reloaded, I think it's called, or something like that. So, you know, Harpies is a relatively cheap deck to make. It's good, though. It has so many plays. If you know, if you guys can't pick it up, I'm going to pick it up. And I think I'm going to pick it up because the deck is so good. Okay? Now, we talked about those. Now, we're going to be talking about also Gravekeepers. Now, that was my wife over there. She's kind of a little biased against Gravekeepers because that's the deck that she runs. Now, after Legacy of the Valiant, that Gravekeepers are going to be broken. They have a card that's like Infernity Barrier that says no to everything. Now, we already know how much control Gravekeepers have. Now, if they have something that searches out one of their best searchers, which is Spy, and they also have a Recruiter, which name is Recruiter, and they have one of the most dirtiest field cards that says no to your graveyard and to certain effects from your graveyard. Now, like I said, the deck is amazing. The deck does so much things, has so much recruiting, has so much protection, has a lot of room for tech choices and different things that the deck can do. Now, with that being said, after Legacy of the Valiant, I'm going to tell you right now, Gravekeepers right now are like a tier 2, tier 3 maybe, or tier 1.5 depending on the person running it. If it's a new person picking it up, it's going to be a little harder for them to understand the different plays and understand what the deck can do and at certain times that the deck can do it. So, with that being said, after Legacy of the Valiant, I'm going to tell you right now, Gravekeepers tier 1. Now, people are going to be talking about Constellars, Evil Swarms. Now, Constellars may survive this format. Constellars may be one of the top decks. Evil Swarms, not so much. The only reason why I say Evil Swarms, maybe not so much, because now there's no dragons. And the only reason why Evil Swarms were so good was because they had so many matchups against dragons and Mermails. So if Mermails are the prevalent deck, like the number one deck to beat, like the deck that everybody's running, which is the higher percentages at YCS and ARG Circuit Series, Evil Swarms are going to be there, and then Evil Swarms are going to be the top deck. Or second to the top, depending on how it places, like always. Evil Swarms are anti-meta, so with that being said, anti-meta always has a place in the format. Light Swarms. Light Swarms are okay right now. Once the new support comes out, which is Michaels, Raiden, all that other stuff, the deck's going to be amazing. It's going to be good. I've been playing it on Dev Pro. So many different combos, plays for days. Now, the deck does good itself. Light Swarms are okay. But right now, at this current moment, Light Swarms are tier 2. Now let's talk about another deck that a lot of people are for some reason not really talking about. Blackwings. Blackwings. They have so much things that they can do to your opponent that hurts them completely. Remember, guys, Icarus Attack is a card. It's so good. It breaks up so many plays and hurts your opponent so much. Another thing with Blackwings, they do have Black Whirlwind at 3. They have Kalut at 3. Bora 3. What's that other guy? Not Sirocco, but Shora at 3. You know, they still have all their stuff. The only thing that they don't have is Gale. Gale at 3. They don't have Gale at 3 or at 2. They have it at 1. But they have Zephyros the Elite. Zephyros is another great card. They have so many synchros. Blackwings are a problem too. So, from all this that I've been saying, all these different decks, in the comment section below, would you guys want me to break down each deck, how to beat them, how to use them, and how to understand them, and certain combos and plays that you can do? that will help you succeed in taking the win against your opponent. Now write down in the comment section which deck would you like to see. And if you guys want to see all of them, I will write down the list and we'll do one by one for you guys to see it. Again, I'm not the greatest player in the world. I'm not super competitive in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I like to have fun with it. And I'm kind of knowledgeable now with the game. I've been playing for, back into competitive for like 2 years. So I know more or less about the metagame and a lot of things. You know, I research a lot. So, on the sneak peek will be on the 18th of January for Legacy of the Valiant. Now, that's when we'll actually understand and see how good Gravekeepers are going to be. Now, if the monsters are like commons or if they're secrets, they all depend how much they're going to cost and how many things people will have with them. But like I said, the money cards are that. So remember, in the comment section, if you want me to break down each deck that I named today, let me know. And I'm going to name them again and put it in the description, which will be Mermails, Gear Card Curries, Fire Fist, Boojins, Gravekeepers, Prophecy, Harpies, Noble Knights, and Zectors. Probably missed a couple Light Sworns, Infernities. I missed a couple, but you know, write it down in the comment section below and I'll get back at you, letting you know what decks and how the meta is shaping out. As you can see, I'm gonna leave this with you guys. I just said at least 10 to 12 different decks that are very, very competitive. Depending on the player and depending on their playstyle, every deck here can win. Any deck could win right now. I see now what Konami's talking about, making a more balanced meta. As you can see, from coming off of meta being dragons and prophecies to just dragons and evil swarms, and now we just said about 10 to 12 decks. So like I said, if you guys want me to break down each deck, put it in the comment section below. Check out the Facebook group, Team Hit'em. Remember guys, comment, like, subscribe. Tell me if you like this video, and if you did, see you.